Eventually wound up playing tackle at the University of Oregon and later Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. Played well enough that in 1958, he was a 21st round draft pick of the Philadelphia Eagles. That's right, the draft took 30 rounds then.
So on 4th down, here's the Australia native Mitch Wishnowsky to punt this one away. Back deep, two-time Pro Bowler Dante Hall. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. So, Charles, as mentioned, we've got another Coach Madden over here on the AFC sideline. Of course, his Raiders, members of the AFC West. So this is a conference he battled in for his entire career. And you think about the landscape. Launches deep. A jump ball, and this is caught. A big play there for the AFC. 53 yards. Defense blitzed, but they picked it up pretty well.
Allowed their man to stand firm in the pocket and not be hurried, didn't it? That allowed him to make the nice throw downfield to help complete that play.
So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. But Charles, you mentioned Coach was a 21st-round draft pick back in 1958. It was the Philadelphia Eagles who selected him. But unfortunately for John, knee problems, they just continued to dog him. He was hurt in his first training camp, actually never saw the field as a player in the NFL. But it was still during his time with the Eagles. You and I were talking about this before going on air, that you could start to see the light bulb going on for what his career path might entail.
And it went on in a big way, didn't it? Because while he was rehabbing his knee, he started to spend a lot of time breaking down film with the Eagles with quarterback Norm Van Brocklin, the future Hall of Famer and future head coach in the NFL. Remember, Norm Van Brocklin coached with the Falcons. He coached with the Vikings. And was there during that time. I think Coach Madden realized his love of football and love for teaching, combining all that together, and that meant being a football coach. So in 1960, began his coaching career at a small college south of San Luis Obispo called Allen Hancock, and then later at San Diego State University under another legendary coach, the guy who could throw it around pretty well, Don Coryell.
Here we go now on 1st and goal. Brady's going to sneak it. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down. And Brady will sneak it. And he is into the end zone for an AFC touchdown. The sneak successful from a yard out. And the AFC has taken the early lead. Now Adam Bennett. Terry for the point after. Now a timeout called for by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And now a 2-point conversion attempt forthcoming. They'll give it to the fullback up the middle. And he will get in to make it 8-0. Nothing fancy there on that 2-point try. Give it to the big boy, let him go to work.
That almost felt like Sandlot football that we used to play, didn't it? Biggest guy on your team who can carry the ball, hand it to him and let him rumble.
Nobody picked me on the Sandlot football team.
You were quarterback, and I know better.
I was the water boy. And here's Vinatieri now to kick it away after the touchdown. And by rule, that comes out to the 40-yard line, so good opportunity for this offense with solid field position. So now the possession will begin at the 35 after the errant kickoff.
Well, that's certainly one way to avoid a dangerous kick returner, I suppose, but you are giving up extra yardage, that's for sure. Because if you put it out of the end zone, they start at the 25. So at a minimum, you're giving up 10 yards to the offense.
Myles Garrett showing that athleticism as he gets in to make the play. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Another run here with Sanders. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Well, Charles, you know, it was in the early 1960s that a young John Madden made the acquaintance of the owner of the Oakland Raiders, one Al Davis, of course, and the two, they really bonded, would become one of the best owner-coach duos in NFL history. And to take it a step further, Al Davis became someone who John referred to as his best friend.
Yeah, 1967, Brandon. Al Davis hired Coach Madden to be a linebackers coach. Remember, this was still the AFL at that point. We had not merged totally with the NFL. And Coach Madden, he paid dividends almost immediately. Helped the Raiders win the AFL title in 1968. And that meant a date with the Green Bay Packers in what was now known as Super Bowl II. But by 1969, at the age of 32, just 32, Brandon, John Madden assumed the mantle of head coach of the Oakland Raiders. And what a ride the Raiders in the NFL were about to go on.
Brady now on first down. And going deep for Hill. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. Brady's incompletion on first down leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll set up to throw. And he's able to get this one up to the 8-yard line this time. Charles, you talked about John Madden and the Raiders going on a ride. Well, try these numbers on for size. In 10 seasons as a head coach, the Raiders won their division 7 times. They finished second the other 3 times. And he became the youngest coach to amass 100 career regular season victories and is still, to this day, the franchise leader in wins.
And when you think about it, that's where that rivalry with Kansas City really took root. As did the expression commitment to excellence. And boy, was it personified by the players who played for Coach Madden. On offense, how about quarterback Kenny Stabler, wide receiver Cliff Branch, wide receiver Fred Biletnikoff, tight end Dave Casper, to name a few. How about those great linemen he had? Center Jim Otto, guard Gene Upshaw, tackle Art Shell, all of them in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And guys on the defensive side of the ball, the Mad Stork himself, Ted Hendricks, Willie Brown, John Matuzak, Otis Sistrunk, and Big Ben Davidson. So many great players, so many great memories.
Charles, you think about all the success that John Madden had as an NFL head coach, and he had plenty, and we talked about it, including the 10 straight winning seasons, a Super Bowl title. But like any great coach, he also suffered through a few tough losses along the way as well.
And Brandon, those tough losses came in high-stakes games because they always had such great success. Think about it this way. 6 times in his 10 years, the Raiders were knocked out near the AFL championship game or the AFC championship game. But might be a divisional round exit. That's the one that bothered him most of all. Three Rivers Stadium, December 1972. Yes, the Immaculate Reception game. Franco Harris grabbing the ball that was deflected. Almost at his shoe tops, he picked it up and took it in for a game-winning score to give the Steelers a 13-7 victory. And partner, anyone who loves black and silver still doesn't believe that ball hit anyone in black and silver that day, and that play should never have counted.
1st and 10, it's Favre. That's swung out wide to Sanders. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line. It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. 2 minutes remain here in the first half of the John Madden Legacy game. We'll be back. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. To throw is Favre. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line. Favre. Over the middle, complete. It's Rice. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down. Here's Favre to throw. And that's going to be caught. Touchdown NFC. Randy Moss from 4 yards out. And the NFC is within a 2-point conversion of tying this thing up. Well, that's just how they drew it up, CD. His first read was there, got it to him quickly, and into the end zone.
Absolutely excellent execution by all involved. And the coordinator, got to give him credit, found the perfect play call. Quarterback let it fly as soon as the target came free, and his guy made a nice catch. Just how you draw it up in practice and then execute it in the game.
Dante Hall going to bring it out of the end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The offense for the AFC set to go now. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of sixes back-to-back. What a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's third down. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. He's going deep for Brown. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down.
Oh, I thought he had that one, and that was nearly a big third down conversion to give this drive some life. Instead, they're on the spot and help separate the receiver from the ball.
They'll go for it. It's Brady. And going deep for Hill. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the NFC is going to get the football back in excellent field position. So they take a big chance here in their own territory. And you think the coach may have some questions to answer?
Yeah, and, you know, normally we focus on the media, right? The social media barrage that he's going to get for this one. How about on his own sideline and in his locker room? Because I think the team's going to look at him like, Coach, why would we go for it there? I mean, no confidence in the defense. You don't like the punter. I mean, what's going on here? You owe us some explanations.
Being chased out left. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. And I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. Throwing is Favre. Trying to find Cup, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. The AFC offense heading back out. You know, Charles, Coach really loved to utilize his tight ends in the passing game. You think about Dave Casper, Hall of Famer for those great Raider teams. And I think he saw a lot of Dave Casper in an all-Madden staple, Tony Gonzalez.
Tony Gonzalez is the type of tight end I think everyone's looking at.
And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. We're coming up in the second half. We'll run through John's post-coaching triumphs, but for now, we present a special tribute to the man of the hour, narrated by the Raiders' own Trey Mosley. The AFC going to get the football first here as we are back underway from Oakland in the John Madden Legacy game. Here comes Hall. He's going to bring it out. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The AFC offense set to take their next drive. This offense set to begin the third quarter. And, Charles, if they had a checklist of things they wanted to accomplish in the first half, certainly at the top of that list would be having the lead. And they've got that here. And this is caught inside the 5. Touchdown! Andre Reed. As his guys are able to extend their lead.
Well, this is exactly where I expect teams to take a shot. Right after a turnover, you count on the defense being a little bit jumbled coming out on the field.